Good evening, good afternoon, good wherever you are in the world. I'm Kalari Cuddles, and it is now time for day 3 of the Indie Advent Calendar. Today's title is going to be a game I actually thoroughly enjoy. I have over 60 hours of this game. It was given to me by the devs. It was once upon a time on a site. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was like we paid people to play indie games. And I was paid to play this indie game. It was very interesting, like concept wise, and sure, I got paid for it as well. So I played the demo, and then later on they even gifted me the full game. And since then I have purchased all of its DLC. The game in question is Legends of Keeper, or Legend of Keepers. I put the S in the wrong place. This game is wonderful. There's no way of like explaining everything it is. So it's basically you set up a dungeon for adventurers. You're the monster. You're working for a corporation that hires monsters and like whatever monsters, basically monsters, ghouls, zombies, robots, blah blah, things that are evil. And you have a dungeon or a cave or something that has treasure inside, and there's these goody two shoe heroes coming along that want to steal your treasure. But you don't want that because you'll get fired from your job, and you can't afford that in this economy. So you have to set up traps, you have to set up magical spells, you have to set up what monsters are going to be there, and counter it up with the different like monster or the different adventurers. You get to see their stat sheets and all that stuff to figure out how to beat them. And this leads to like hours of fun. I honestly got this game because I thought it was interesting, or well, it was given to me that I thought it was interesting. But once I started playing it, it became so addictively fun to play. So, without further ado, let's show you the amazing gameplay that is Legend of Keepers.
Are you a slave master in search of something new? Are you an enchantress with an ever-insufficient magic budget? Are you a misunderstood genius? Sign up with the Dungeons Company. Assemble your ideal team, train your monsters to defend our treasures from ever stupider heroes. Feel free to give us a call by Crystal Ball at and become a part of the Legend of Keepers.
That's just a taste of the game to come. There is a tutorial that will teach you how to play this game, but I do not need to go through that because I know how to play this game. So, each of the monsters or bad guys that you can be has their own map in which you can select to play and go through the different levels. Now, some of them that are locked, which the base game one is the Enchantress, and it is the, like her. You need to get level 5 with the Slaveholder, and to unlock
So many ideas!
the Engineer, you need to get level 3 with her, so you have to start off with him.
It's a passion.
Now, obviously, if you purchase the DLCs, you'll get these other 3 lovely baddies. She is the Goddess.
Let's rock and roll.
He is the Shaman.
Age brings experience.
And he is the Lord. Now, as you can see down here below on the screen, it shows you default things, rewards. It will show you what type of monsters and so forth you will start with. I am just going to keep it simple and use the Slaveholder, as he is the first guy that you get on base game without the DLCs.
Torture? It's a passion.
And you can even hover over your monsters to see what their stats are. So the reward of completing this first chapter, you will get the Satyr. And you start off with goblins and orcs and skeletons and so forth. So we're going to hit start here in a moment, but let's go to talents. Each villain, each monster has their own unique talent tree. And this helps you with dealing with whoever is about to come up into your dungeon. Each monster that's defeated gets granted a 10 or 20% chance of a master gaining a shield. I'm going to take that. Ultimately, You need to use your monsters to make sure they don't get to the boss. And if they do get to the boss, you need to make sure your boss is pretty beefy. Of course, your boss can fight, but you don't want your boss to perish. So, I'm just going to show you now what gameplay of this game looks like.
Let's get to...
Welcome to the company, Mog. I am delighted to have you with us. We'll need your fabled management techniques. We're putting you in charge of a little team in the Old Empire, a region overrun by humans. It's up to you to gather the monsters in the area and teach them how to defend themselves. Turn them into great employees, ready to give their lives multiple times for the company.
So each week, as you can see, you have to go through an entire year of working for the company. There are going to be different things that you can select. You straight out the gate start off with battling adventurers. It's basically them like seeing if you're fit for the job. So we're going to select it. And it's going to open up the preparation phase. Now, as you can see up here, there shows you what your entire dungeon consists of. So the first one is a trap. Then you have monsters. Then you have a magic spell that you can place. More monsters, another trap, and then the boss if it gets to that. Now, how do you decide which trap to use? Well, you're able to select each of the adventurers, see what their weaknesses are, see what abilities they do, and so forth, because that also helps you set up your character. Like, he's weak to fire. I don't have a fire trap, so there's nothing that I can do here with that. Here is the minstrel or the bard. As you can see here, he applies dodge to a hero with the lowest life percent at the start of each fight. So he makes it where one of the random mobs are going, or one of the random humans here are going to be able to dodge the first attack that you do to him. And then this guy, who I so very much hate, the magician, he randomly mixes up your first group of monsters. So here, unfortunately, it will not matter how I set up the monsters. He's going to rearrange the order anyway. So you just throw down the monsters you want and hope that it doesn't get put against you in a bad way. So ultimately, I need to figure out ways to hurt my group in the best way possible. He's weak to air magic, armor being physical damage, and then fire he is weak against, but he's strong against ice and nature. Here they're weak against ice, but they have a strength to physical damage, nature damage, and air, but no actual resistance to fire, so they're not negative or minus. And then over here we have the magician, who is a fire mage, which you can always kind of tell what element they're strong to, because they will be literally holding the ball in their hand. So like if he was strong against ice, he would have a blue ball in his hand. If he was strong against nature, he would have a green ball. If he was strong against air, it would be a slightly white ball. So like, and then obviously you can kind of guess with the elements. If they're strong in fire, they're probably weak against ice. So here's this fire mage who's weak against ice magic, armor, so physical attacks, and then air. So ultimately, he's the only one that's weak against physical, ice, and then fire. So now looking at the traps, we have the rally horn, where you lose morale and it applies enrage to your next monsters, which enrage they do more damage. Now there's two ways that you can get rid of the humans entering your dungeon. You can either kill them or you can scare them to run away. Morale is the scaring method. Obviously, over here, if I was to select the circular saw, it does physical damage. So this would be killing them in the physical sense. Each way that you kill a monster gets you a different currency, which is how you get to upgrade your dungeon and upgrade your mobs, so forth, minus gold. So each fight at the end, when you kill them or you scare them away, you get gold, which the gold allows you to purchase new traps, get monster upgrades, get new monsters, so forth, so forth. But there are other things that you can do, like training seminars, or I can't think of other ones off the top of my head, but those require the other currency, which is blood. So if you kill these guys, you earn blood. And if you scare them away, you collect their tears. So there are multiple ways of things that you can do this game, which is what makes this game so uniquely cool. So let's look at our other traps. This one also does morale, and it demoralizes. When they're demoralized, they do less damage. And then the circular saw does physical damage. So we're going to, I would rather demoralize them. Actually, enraging them might be good to do more damage, so I can start off up front with more damage. So we're going to do the rallying horn here. Then you hit confirm. It takes you to the monster section. Now, obviously, I don't have a lot of monsters because this is just the first stage. And as I stated, this dude here is going to rearrange the order no matter what. So you just select them, set them down, and boom. But the next group of monsters, he will not rearrange. So I will show you how you actually would set up your monsters. So I'm going to hit confirm. The spell section, the only reason that you don't pick something here is because when they physically get to the thing, that's when it's going to allow you to pick the spell, because each spell is different based off of whatever you got going on here. So now we are setting up the monsters because he's not going to be able to rearrange this group. So now you need to look at the abilities of the humans that you are fighting. So if he is still alive, he does ice damage and he applies frostbite to all targets under 50%. And it's in the front. As you can see down below, the diamonds that you see there, like you see the red diamond and then the two are gray and then all red, that shows you the positions that are here. So front, middle, back is how this is viewed. And the same with your monsters. As you see here, he attacks at the front. So this is front, middle, back. So you need to have your different tactics. All right, so he does frost damage. They do area damage, which is nature damage. They're going to apply it to everyone. And then he also does area damage. So it doesn't matter where I put this guy here who does frost damage. But as you can see, he does back damage, which this guy is weak to ice. So I want him in the front. And he's also resistant to ice, which is what he is going to punch me with. So it would be smart to put him as the first monster. Now, here we got one that does physical damage. He's weak to fire, so he's going to have a hard time with this. And then here is this guy here who's strong against fire, but he's very weak against ice. So he's going to have a hard time here. So obviously, I want him to be the last person to be punched by this dude, so I'm going to stick him in the back. Unfortunately, he does do fire damage, which is bad for him. But he also can do morale damage as well. And then naturally, since I don't have other monsters to select from, dude's going in the middle. And then out of the last two I have left, what do I want to do? If I'm going to go into the boss fight, I want to have stacks. As you can see here, it applies bleeding, meaning it puts a bleeding debuff on them. I'm going to go ahead and slap down this Saul. And then we're going to hit confirm, and now you're going to see how the fight unfolds.
Fresh meat!
Alright, so now it's time to attack. This guy has put the thing on him, so he is going to dodge the first attack I do to him. Now, this goblin can attack the back, or he can attack the front and apply poison. He's got some natural resistance to nature. He takes physical damage. So since this shoots the back, we're going to do the back. And as you can see, how the bar, right now it's full, how it highlights, makes it a darker red, meaning that's how much damage it's going to do to this guy. So the quicker I can kill him, the better. So let's do that. All right, he's been hit. He does an area attack. All right, now it is time to figure out what I'm going to do next. Now, obviously, I could do this and do more damage to him, but he has got this dodge attack no matter what I do. So here is an area attack. I can hit him, but also damage the other two that are standing there, and hit that guy to at least remove that dodge buff off of him. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now it is time to do my attacking. He applies a debuff. While it doesn't do the most damage to this guy, the debuff will also help with the damage. So we're going to do that. Now I am fine, since that debuff was removed off of him, just attacking this dude in the back. I am applying more of that debuff on him. And unfortunately, my monsters have gone down, so now we're here. So, every one of these is different. This one will, and it applies differently based off of the type of boss that you are using. So, I can Intimidate, which is going to terrify them and apply Terrified. Terrified makes the attacks and traps they are hit by do more damage. I could do Show No Mercy, which is going to enrage my next group, or I can do a Burning Whip, which hits the front person and also kills him. So I'm going to take out one of the guys and hit him with this whip. Unfortunately, his debuff was put on here, but once again, it says here he applies dodge to the one with the lowest health. So I am going to get that off of him by throwing this. But now I'm about to hit him because this ice block goes to the back. He's got a weakness to ice, so let's throw this ice block at him. And now only this guy is left, so we're just gonna wail on him. And we have won. Every time you win, you get some type of reward. So you can pick, well, for me, it's just picking a new enemy. And then you look and see what you want. You got to try to remember what you have. Like, I have a bunch of people that do physical damage. I have people that do poison damage. And I have people that do ice and fire. So I need to try to well-round my enemies where you have other people to offer the other types of damage. So let's look at what we have. We have a Goblin Drummer. He does an area effect which does air damage and applies air weakness. Air weakness basically makes the person now have a minus in air. He also applies Enrage to all of the monsters in the group. The Ice Skeleton, he does a 60 ice damage to the front, which applies Frostbite, which makes them take ice damage over time. Or an area effect that does 9 ice damage, takes out morale, and also demoralizes them if I want to go the scare tactic. And then the Executioner, he attacks the one in the center by applying morale, demoralizing the target, or I can hit in the back and do ice damage, take away some morale, and also apply Frostbite. I normally go with this guy because he does quite a lot of damage, so that's what I'm going to do here too. Yes, I know I already have an ice guy, but I want another ice guy, so we're going to hit confirm. Now, as you can see, these guys have been hurt and injured. Normally, you don't go back to back to back with combat. As you can see here, I have a week of this, a week of that, a week of this, so I could probably allow my monsters to rest. So you're going to hit this up here, and there's your garrison. So anyone that's been injured, you obviously don't want them to be injured anymore, so I'm going to move them over here. And as we go through the weeks, they are going to heal naturally. So right now, sure, it's uneven, but don't worry about it. You will see. I'm going to go to the next week just to show. Here's where you can purchase more monsters and traps. This is where you can train the monsters that you already have. And the engineer is how you make your traps better. I want to try to get some more monsters under my belt. So we're going to select merchant. Now, obviously, it shows you a bunch of different monster types in a trap. You can always hit renew, but let's see what we got monster-wise. All right, we have the Skeleton Scientist, which I really do enjoy this one, too. He does an area effect of nature damage, applying poison, but he also does air damage. I don't have anyone that does air damage. I do have someone that does poison damage, but once again, I don't have someone that does air damage, so I want to buy him. So we're going to hit buy. And until you close or leave this, you're in this store. So you can continue to get more people. So here is the Skeleton Trumpeter. He also does air damage. A random defeated monster comes back to life as a skeletal warrior, which is actually pretty nice too, which means one of my monsters dies. If he's in the party, they might come back as a skeleton and continue to fight. So he is a good option too. We're definitely going to go ahead and snag him. Now, I could renew to see if there's more monsters. Of course, you have to pay 20 shinies for that. Or I could just be happy with my choice. I want to see what else there is, so I'm going to hit to renew this. All right, we have another trap and 2 more monsters. Let's show you what we have. This one does ice damage and an area effect of fire. I don't really want to go with that because I already have that. She does physical damage in the back and applies vulnerability, which makes them more likely take more damage to physical damage. And she does an area effect with fire. I'm definitely going to take her. She seems really powerful. And then I want to look at this trap. The trap does air damage and implies enchanted or enhanced resistance to the group, which basically means the group of monsters that are going next are going to have some damage resistance to all types of magical effects, aka the fire, the physical damage, the nature damage, the ice damage, the air damage. So that's not that bad of a trap either. So let's go ahead and get it. Sure, that's going to make me broke afterwards, but you know, I can get more gold by killing more people. So now I'm going to leave. I don't want to buy anything else. I don't want to renew. I'm good with what I've spent, so let's leave and get out of here. All right, so week number 2, or week number 3, which now let me show here. As you can see here, he had 2 of these missing. He's now healing. So each week they heal. So the engineer, once again, I said that's how you upgrade traps. If you see this red little triangle here, it means you probably do not have enough gold to do this thing here. Now you can do an event. Now an event offers all types of variety of things. It's normally literally a random event. So I'm going to do that because I know I can't spend money here and that would be a waste of a week. Lucky me. Okay, so generally here you can either go on an adventure, a random thing will happen. It literally is random. So you placed a bet on Boar Racing Game during lunch break. The one you chose finished first and you won a jackpot. You could also use your winnings to throw a party for your employees, plus 1 motivation to all monsters. Now, motivation is how you heal your monsters. So you do want this. But the gold also sounds promising, but I don't remember what comes in the next week. I think it's adventurers, so I think I would rather do morale, so we're going to go with morale. Oh, no, there's another event, but I couldn't afford this anyway. Had I gone through, oh no, the alchemist is different. Transmute blood or tears into another resources. So down here, this being blood and that being tears, if you have additional, well, you have to have both of these. I don't have any tears, so using this here is not going to work for my favor. So let's go ahead with the event. Okay. A young man managed to sneak up to you and threaten you with a rusty blade. His face streaked with angry tears. He seeks to avenge his family, tortured and devoured before his eyes. You can gently pat him on the shoulder and show him the exit. Amuse yourself with his suffering or offer him a gift. Offer him as a gift to your employees. I want to spare him, let him cry, so I can also get some of those tier currencies. And now we're going into the next week of adventurers. As you see here, the reward is a monster, so if I kill them or run them off, I will get some monsters. And I will also be paid anywhere between 85 and 125 gold. So, let's do a full round of just killing these. And that's Legend of Keepers. Sorry, you may hear a mower going on in my background because there's someone mowing. But I will leave all the links down below. This one thankfully has multiple websites that you can purchase this game, so hopefully you can find it somewhere cheaper, but you can get it on Steam, the Epic Store, GOG, Ubisoft also has it, and I believe there are other places like if you're going to want to play it on console, because it is also a console game as well. So I definitely recommend you trying that. But if you trickle down into the about section, you'll see all of the information as well as my socials like Twitch, as I do live stream, and TikTok as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit a like button to say you liked this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because offering me support is nice and I appreciate you for it. And make sure you hit that the notification bell, the ding, so you know when new videos come up. Tune in tomorrow as you see another indie title in the advent calendar of indie games. Stay cuddly, my friends.